Good morning, YouTube. So today's video, we're gonna be doing another ultimate cheapie video for you guys. You guys liked the first one that I did so much that I decided to put in the time and effort for part 2. But before we get into it, please show YouTube that you liked the video by giving it a thumbs up. I hate asking for them, but I might start doing it just because it does show YouTube and those bitch ass algorithms that you like this type of content. These fragrances never get any mention except for maybe 2. First one is going to be Armaf's Club de Nuit Sillage. This is Silver Mountain Water Creed on a budget. This is one of the best Silver Mountain Water fragrances, like representations, clone out there. Silver Mountain Water, I love. I got it for my wedding. Was my wedding fragrance. This is not as well blended, but for the price tag, under 40 bucks, you can't complain. There's definitely a lot of citruses. There's like ambroxan, there's musk, blackcurrant, lime, violet leaf, ginger, rose, and so on. It's pretty much just a lot of citruses, a powdery violet or like a powdery iris, an aromatic violet leaf, because this is a very aromatic fragrance with a lot of musk and some woods. It is just a great spring scent, and longevity, it's not really all that bad. It's like 6 to 8 hours, and as a daily wear, this is ageless. Scent number 2 is going to be another freshie, and most of these fragrances will be freshies. I'm going to have a few darker scents, but for the most part, it's like 70-80% freshies, including this one here, Azaro Chrome. This has a bit of a classical vibe, but it's modern. You do have that original like Put-Um DNA in some ways, like Put-Um kind of dated. That's one that I personally don't like, and I just talked about some classics that I'm starting to be open-minded to. But this is a little bit old school with a modern touch to it. Really nice. I find that this would be something that, I don't want to say an older man, but someone who is like 30 and up would appreciate more than someone who is like in high school per se. Definitely a lot of citruses. There's geranium. The geranium is what adds that, geranium, and I think it's lemon, that adds a little bit of like a classical vibe, but lavender as well. There's also vetiver, I believe sandalwood, definitely a few different types of woods, but just super aromatic. It's fresh, it is invigorating, a little floral from that geranium, like a little old school vibe. Like there is that fougere component, that classification that I would probably give it if it's not classified as that, and it might be, with like a woody base, like a woody musky base. Great scent for the spring and summertime. And again, this a little bit older than the other one, which is on the floor now, but it's an everyday wear. This is the prime office fragrance. If I were to say like what's it best used for, office, work. Doesn't matter if it's white collar or blue collar. I'm blue collar, drive a bus. This has made me feel better when I have a bus that has absolutely zero AC and I gotta smell the public, including myself. Because trust me, if you take public transit, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? But this does make me feel fresh, it makes me feel clean, and it makes me feel good. Fragrance number 3, this is from Ferragamo. Ferragamo gets a lot of attention, right? Yet this fragrance never did. Incanto Blue Put-Um. This is really good. It's fresh, it's blue, it's aquatic, yet with some florals. This in some ways does remind me of Nautica Voyage, but with florals. It's not over floral, guys, so don't even think that, but there is that floral touch. There is carnation, there is rose, which I don't get. There is flowers as a note. Don't ask me what flowers or what florals I get. There's maybe a little bit of that carnation, but definitely the floral touch. There is aldehydes, tarragon, artemisia, musk, woods. Like there's a lot going on in this scent. Nautica Voyage has that aquaticness, even though I don't think that seawater is a listed note. I might be wrong, but it's like a salty cucumber. You don't get that salty cucumber vibe. There's like apple, I believe apple's listed. Again, it's been a little while, is listed. There's no fruity nuance. It's just citruses, aldehydes. This is a better explanation. Nautica Voyage with aldehydes, with a little bit of green notes and florals. That's what I should have said. I just complicate shit for myself and for you guys, right? Gotta do a better job of that. See, this is how professional I am and not giving a shit. This is how casual this channel is. Maybe that's the reason why that it's never really blown up. This is just an everyday wear. Just an everyday wear for the spring and summertime. It's ageless. I think that a grandfather, all the way to someone as young as like a high school student can rock this. This is $25 or less. I've seen this as low as $18 Canadian. So that's under $15 USD. Let's go with another cheapie. Perry Ellis 360 Pure Blue. This is not even on Fragrantica. This is super fresh, very citrusy, aquatic, musky as well. So apparently, like the official website, Perry Ellis listed it as like aquatics, apple, don't get that, grapefruit, musk, crushed cardamom, whatever, tidal wave accord, which is just gonna be like seawater with some like sandalwood. Just uber fresh, I would say, on par with this, but this is just smells a lot more synthetic because it is Perry Ellis, and it's just ageless. It's just very casual. I would say probably like the most casual one in this list. It's white t-shirt and jeans. It is flip-flops and a tank top with sandals on a beach. That's what it is. If you want to wear it to work, by all means. This, however, the longevity is kind of shitty. Like 3 hours to maybe 4 if you're lucky. Generally 3 hours is what you're gonna get, which is not bad, but just reapply as the day goes by. Just everyday wear. Also, I almost forgot to state, if you wear this when it's like super hot, like balmy hot, let's say Puerto Rico. What's up, Carlos Column? You know, gotta go to Puerto Rico sometime. That is definitely on my travel bucket list, guy. But Florida, Hawaii, anywhere where it's like tropical, this will just radiate off your skin. This will definitely leave that pep to your step. Next one, let's go back to a heavier scent. Armaf Niche Oud. This stuff is fantastic, yet it's kind of misleading because there's no oud in this. There's no oud in this. Definitely like a smoky creaminess, spices and woods. Most certainly. There is amber. You're definitely gonna get like that warm resonance amber, creamy, sweet vanilla, different spices. So I think there's like caraway, there's like maybe nutmeg. There's apparently leather, which I don't get. Definitely the patchouli. The patchouli does add that woody nuance with some powdery iris. This is a unisex fragrance that is classy, but oh so sexy. I think that both genders can rock this. Yet if you are like your typical like manly dude, you know, like not one of those guys that claim to be red pilled and alpha, no. But if you're just naturally just like an alpha dog, and I hate that word alpha, but you know, like The Rock, Roman Reigns, Sylvester Stallone, the Terminator himself, this is a fragrance maybe not so much for you. I could see Arnold Schwarzenegger later in life wearing this because he most certainly has that gentleman side, but this is for like a modern day gentleman, someone who likes to dress up with like in fashion, suits and ties. That's all about manners maketh man, because that's what this scent is. But ladies can rock this very easily as well, and longevity is crazy. It's like 10 plus hours. Next fragrance is the epitome of a cheapie. It's one of the cheapest ones in this list. And I plugged this one pretty hard a couple of years ago. Like, I was just blown away by it. It's from Jaguar. Ultimate Power. Not the Jeremy type of power. Power! But this does smell like Azaro Chrome Aqua. Mint, apple, super fresh, aromatic. It's green. There's a little bit of citrus, some moss, and some woods. This is just everyday. You could wear it to work if you want. It's prime white t-shirt and jeans. You can wear it to school, again to work. Nothing formal about this. This is a fragrance that will definitely leave that pep to your step. This is a feel-good fragrance. When it's really hot and that sun is just kicking your ass, this will just uplift you. That will just help you just get through that, whatever you're trying to get through. Just fantastic. Longevity, you're gonna get about 5 hours. Arm off. Club de Nuit Milestone. If you love Silver Mountain water, this is one of the best like knockoffs. And it lasts longer than Creed Silver Mountain water does now. It's been reformulated, yet the price keeps going up. This you're gonna get at least 8 hours. Like I would say 7 to 8 hours. You might get 10, but just oceanic, citrusy, salty, musky. This is just beautiful. There is a little bit of a powdery violet leaf. You would think that's like maybe like some like iris or something like that, but violet. There's woods. Of course, the citruses. There's like red fruits. I think it was like red, what was it in Creed Silver Mountain water? There's like a red fruit or something like that. But like there's like red berries or something like that in this one here. So there is that fruity nuance with the woods and that muskiness. It's like when you're coming out of the ocean and you're just letting the sun dry you down. At the end, you have that musky saltiness. That's what this is. This really, like these two here, this will just radiate off your skin when it's super hot. Just an everyday scent. You can wear this one to work if you want, but I'm thinking something like more like a restaurant, a patio. You're a server of some kind, a bartender. You know, something along like the beach. You're on a resort. That type of employment, but just an absolute feel-good fragrance. Next one is going to be the last colder season scent, but Davidoff Hot Water. This one never really took off. I did talk about this one, but I ended up deleting the video. But I'll do another one later in the year. But this is just very woody and very spicy. So it's like either pimento or paprika. There is wormwood, basil, benzoin, and I think patchouli or something like that. It's just, again, very spicy, very woody, with a little bit of a green, like a little, I would say a little herbal undertones. We'll just leave it like that. Has that bad boy vibe. So I think that black t-shirt, leather jacket, just to play it safe, you might be able to wear it with a white t-shirt. I don't know if this is going to stain the juice or stain your tea or not, but definitely black tee, leather jacket, all the way to a suit and tie. This is an everyday man's fragrance. So if you have a lot of fragrances in your collection, this is something that you more than likely won't really care to have. And this is super cheap. You know, it's not as cheap as Cool Water, but for like $30 or less, you really can't complain. Longevity, you're gonna get about 6 to 7 hours. Fragrance number 9, oldie, but it's a goldie. For me, it's a timeless classic. That might be a little dated for some people, but for me, it'll never go out of style, because for a lot of Gen Xers, their dad wore this back in the day, including themselves. Azaro Chrome. So 1996 release. Oh my God, this really brings back a lot of memories. This is very fresh, very aromatic. So there's definitely a lot of citruses. There is like some aquatics, some musky nuance to it. Some woods, oak moss, I believe cyclamen, and something else going on. But just super fresh, very aromatic, musky, woody. Like, I don't want to say it's like overly woody, but it's more musky than anything for me. But it's a clean musk. Yet what might turn some people off is going to be that metallic feel. Chrome, right? Chrome is a metal. It does have that metallic feel, but I don't care. This is a fragrance that just makes me feel happy. Brings some nostalgia, just because like the 90s was like Gen X, their decade. This is like, for me, this is kind of like what I'm thinking, like punk music back in the day. Not like Nirvana, but like Nada Surf. The song Popular. If you're an old guy, you might remember that track back in the day, huh? But also like Blink 182. What are some of the other bands out there? Well, Soundgarden. Oh man, I'm forgetting. It's been a long time. But this is just spring and summertime. It's every day for me. Ageless, but it just might resonate more so with the older guy out there. And it's just like an everyday casual kind of fragrance that can be worn to work. And last but not least, this I thought was the oldest one in this list. But that's going to be Rochas Mustache 1949. Yet it was released in 2018. 2018 it was released. But 1949 is in the name. I believe that they just redid this one, like they copied like the original. and added like a modern take to it. There's a lot of lavender, a lot of citrus, a little bit of woods, some neroli, musk, moss, and maybe a little bit more going on. Super citrusy, super fresh. It smells classical, but it smells timeless. I was so surprised when I smelled this. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna like it. You know, and because I'm trying to open myself up to some of these older fragrances, again, I thought it was like an old ass fragrance. But this just smells like from like yesteryear, but redone. A young person could rock this, no problem. But I find that a young person who has maybe mature tastes or a mature outlook on life, a little bit of an old soul. But for me, so surprised by this one here. So surprised. Everyday use, but I think that this would be a great office fragrance. And you know, just because it does have that like classical vibe and like from a different era in some ways, I think that you can wear this with a suit and tie, no problem. And guys, that is part 2 of 10 ultimate cheapies. Again, if you like this very video, leave me one of these, please, as it does show YouTube and myself that you like this type of content. Trust me, I'm not asking for myself really. You know, I don't validate myself through like the likes and all that kind of stuff. But it really does show YouTube that you like this type of content. And any other videos that I've done from this brand, including part 1, will all be down in the description box below. Because that this is mostly a freshie list, I'm gonna give you one cheap freshie right here, and I'm gonna add a colder season right here. So, thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.